sometimes it's really good to feel right. It really, really does. But other times, when you're looking at this in the case of Brexit, going all the way back to 2016, we were there going, look, if you do this, this will happen. How do you intend to solve this problem you are creating by doing this? You know, if X leads to Y, what is your Z solution for solving Y problem which X created? And of course, the response to all those questions was, of course, just Project Fear. Just Project Fear. Look at these Remainers making it up. Look at these elitists. How dare they? How dare they use economics, facts and figures, and actual real world examples of things that could happen if we do this. And we see today, even the Express today, their front page was moaning about the fact that Remainers called it right that the travel chaos at Dover was being caused by Brexit. Why? Because the UK government has insisted that any travel, that passports must be fully stamped. That creates a delay. That is what is causing these problems here at Dover. Nothing else. It is a Brexit-related issue. And they've tried to shift the blame over to France. But in this case, what is happening is it is France who is following the rules that the UK imposed on itself. So I'm going to go dive more into this story because it really is laughable and almost bizarre to state that this, oh, look, guys, here's a problem caused by Brexit of something that you wanted. And then yet again, you are trying to shift the blame onto someone else. And what have we always said from the very beginning? Brexiteers will never take responsibility for their Brexit because as far as they are concerned, their Brexit is perfect. And any mistakes, anything wrong with it must be someone else's fault. Be it, as we have seen throughout the years, judges, elitists hidden within the civil servants, Remainers, even though, again, they don't make up the majority of people who are currently in Parliament. You can name anyone, and the Remainers will, the Brexiteers will be far and far away, try to shift the blame onto anyone who they can. And this, once again, is a classic example of that. So, before we go over today to cover this chaos down in Dover, please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a motivation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help support the channel that way. And of course, there is the YouTube thank you button, as well as the YouTube subscription, where you get badges, emojis, and stuff for joining that. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say, but yes, of course. And like I say, thank you to everyone who just support the channel. So over to this today. We're covering the story. This comes from the London Economic. The title of "Travel Expert Pins Blame for Dover Chaos on Brexit." Liz Truss has called on France to act over entirely avoidable delays on the border as holidaymakers and lorry drivers face another day of gridlock around, on roads around Dover. Bumper-to-bumper traffic in 6-hour queues. 6-hour queues. I don't think I've ever been in a queue that long. Has made its way towards the port of Dover on Friday. One of the busy periods for foreign travel from the UK as most schools in England and Wales break up for the summer. The Foreign Secretary said that the delays and queues were unacceptable, blaming the lack of staff by the French at the border. So, of course, you've got a Brexiteer, or, well, she was a Remainer at one point, but, you know, you've got Liz Truss, a Brexiteer, as we said at the beginning, blaming something that has been caused by Brexit on someone else. So let's get to the root of this, shall we? But a French politician blamed Brexit for the chaos. Henry Dumont, a Republican MP for Calais, has said that the problems at Kentport would reoccur, telling BBC News, "This is an aftermath of Brexit." Pardon me. "We have to run more checks than before." Mr. Dumont also said that the Port of Dover was, quote, too small, and that there were too few kiosks due to the lack of space. A critical incident was declared at the port due to the queues, with tourists urged to consider staying away, and warnings that Saturday may be just as bad. And of course, speaking to Good Morning Britain, the travel expert Simon Calder also has pinned the blame on the queues on Britain's split with the European Union. He said that since Brexit, it's been necessary to have every single passport stamped at Dover, and as a result of that, everything takes much longer. Of course, there's the clip down below. And that is the case. That was always going to be the case. When we left the EU, when we left that freedom of movement, that means there were now checks. And I always said it, one of the best things the Remain campaign could have done would have been a video or something highlighting this. And I've always said one of the stories that we will probably see is the EU ruined my holiday. I wouldn't be surprised if this summer, and indeed for many summers to come, we get stories along that line of the EU ruined my holiday. The EU made me miss my flight. The EU this made me miss my whatever, or I had to cancel my holiday because of the EU, or because I got stuck in these long queues. This was always going to be inevitable. This was always the end result. Why? Because you do Brexit, and that comes with consequences. In this case, being that there must be border checks. The UK government insisted that they wanted these full checks to take place. So what happens? France is now having to carry out the full checks that the UK asked for. And what's Liz Truss's solution to this? It's not our problem, it's France's problem. Well, France is only doing what you asked them to do. So I fully expect to see definitely more of these types of stories in the future. And indeed, if not every summer, really from now on, because they've gotten away with it. Really, partly due to the pandemic, that has very much stopped travel, of course, during these periods. And this is sort of the very first year where travel really is being able to take it back. And of course, we've seen the chaos happening at Manchester Airport and other airports around the country, but also now these queues at Dover. And it's not just containers, the exports here now, it is tourists adding to this queue. And we said it was going to happen, and oh look what's happening. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, down below there is a link to my Patreon page and one additional link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do support the channel that way. And of course, for those of you who missed the Good Morning Walk this morning, there wasn't one. Of course, I had JCI stuff to do today. There will be one tomorrow on Sunday morning, so join us tomorrow for the Sunday Good Morning Walk. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.